What is up, my guys? Welcome back to the channel known as Azure. As always, I'm your most endearing of host, Daniel, followed by my co-host.
Julian.
And today we have a third guest actually with us. Go ahead and introduce yourself, third guest.
Hello, my name is Juan.
Damn, such enthusiasm. Such wow. Okay, enough jokes aside.
Are you really
Today-
making a Doge meme?
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
I am. So what?
Boo,
That's really
boo. Get
Enough.
original jokes.
Like you could give original jokes, man.
I'm back in 2008 already.
Enough.
Wasn't
Okay.
that like earlier than that?
Might be.
It's just an old joke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's a new intro. 40-second one about criticizing us on old meme knowledge. Alright, either way. Today we're going to be talking about probably one of the most famous film franchises, I want to say to date, Star Wars. And we're not talking about the episode of Star Wars, we're talking about the anthology ones, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. What were your initial thoughts, Julian?
Well, I think it's okay.
Yeah? Why do you think it's okay?
Well, first off, is with the Death Star stuff is, I'm more of an old school kind of gamer guy, and I want to bring this up because it is an extended universe movie technically. So I'm still more a fan of the Dark Forces explanation of how the Death Star got retrieved, which is that Kyle Katarn, I think is his name, like infiltrated, got it, and then that's the whole story. Just this guy is such a badass, and in one or two missions, he just picks it up, and then the rest of the story takes place. Like, it's a very minuscule thing in that, and it shows how badass the guy is.
Mm-hmm.
So I still prefer that story, and especially since later on it makes this Jedi like Knight series happen. But I mean, this is still probably this is better than Solo. I'll say that much. So it's the best anthology so far, unless you count Mandalorian as an anthology series.
Alright, fair enough. What about you, Juan? What do you think of the movie?
I kind of like how the stories intertwine with the main original series. Kind of gives the world more depth and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because according to I can't believe I'm gonna say this name, Kathleen Kennedy, and all the people in Disney, that now all the comic books, all the books are all retcon. They're not canon no more. So there goes your badass, Julian. So
Yeah, I think
so,
that
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I think the only thing that still is like some of the prequel stuff, and I think Knights of the Old Republic might still be because EA was still running the MMO.
Yeah, according to what I believe my research showed was that anything before the purchase of Star Wars by Disney is now non-canon except for the Clone Wars TV show, and anything created after that, that's the now new canon.
Yeah,
So that's what
from
that's
I
what it is.
heard.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a
Yeah.
while. It's been a long while.
Yeah, because I know I do not want to go into that whole Disney Kathleen Kennedy rabbit hole, because I know I'm just no. Okay, either way, my thoughts on the movie. I actually enjoyed it the first time I saw it. I actually took my step cousin or step uncle, because I have no idea how this family works really, and he's younger than me either way, so I'm calling him a child. And I went to take him to go see it because my mom's like, hey, he's from Mexico, he doesn't know anything about the U.S., so might as well take him. I'm like, okay, sure. I took him, and like, he kind of ruined the experience for me because he's like, hey, yo, come on, let's leave, it's boring. He's like, come on, let's leave. I'm like, no, dude, come on, it's a movie. You're supposed to watch it. You're supposed to pay attention. And I get it. Like, he doesn't speak English and everything, but I translated it whenever he asked questions. It's like, dude, come on. I'm trying to show you something that you don't really get in Mexico, and you just want to say, hey, yo, let's leave, and you don't even have a backup plan of what you want to do.
Oh yeah,
But
I see what the backup plan yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have one. He's like, hey, yo, come on, let's leave. I'm bored. I'm like, dude, just watch the movie. It's gonna get better. And it did actually get better because, hands down, my favorite scene, and probably a lot of people's favorite scene, Darth Vader fucking hacking and slashing all them rebels. Julian, we'll get to you in a second, but Juan, what do you think about that?
It was just amazing.
Exactly. See, like even now when I was watching it, there's a big ass grin on my face. Like, yes, I want to see more of this. Like, god damn it. Okay, Julian.
Yeah, so the thing with my thing is that, so action-wise, right, I do like it quite a bit, but it makes me remember it as, like, more of a video game cutscene kind of thing, where it's like, oh, look at Darth Vader do this cool stuff, or what's it called? Or, like, a Knights of the Old Republic, like the MMO, when they show the trailers, where it's like, they do all these crazy flips and twists.
Mm-hmm.
But part of my problem is that this is actually a big difference between the prequels and the main series, is that in the prequels they do all these crazy flips and tricks, right? You know, like I do
Uh-huh.
actually like episodes 1, like Darth Maul scene. But
Everyone
because
does.
he's Darth Vader now, I just think about that it should be more like, one, he shouldn't treat these guys with any form of using the lightsaber or even really be there at all. And the second one is like, when he does use a Jedi thing, it's supposed to be more like a Kurosawa film, like how it is in like the fourth film, New Hope, the
Uh-huh.
first film basically, where you know with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, they're very slow, methodical. They only do a few strikes, and that really determines who wins.
Hmm.
And another example of that is in I think it's Rebels, or it might be it's one of the animated series where when Obi-Wan, when he's older, faces Mace Windu, it's a similar feel, since now that he's stronger, like he doesn't need to do all those flips and stuff. He's a Jedi master. He just needs to do a few sword swings, and then the battle is done.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That's from Rebels, and it's not Mace Windu. It's his final fight with Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mace
yeah.
Windu's the guy that got his head chopped off. You're right. Yeah.
No, that was Jango Fett. Mace Windu got his hands cut off and was thrown out the window by Palpatine in Episode 3.
Wait, no, Mace Windu. Oh no, who's the guy that got his head chopped off by Anakin?
Count Dooku.
Dooku, yeah. So so with that, it's like that's how I see the transition. It's just after Anakin gets his face melted off, the fights become more like, since there's so few Jedi's now, it becomes more like methodical and kind of like you're the last of your kind stuff.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, I do still like this fight, but it doesn't seem like in Darth Vader's like how he is. He seems more like at that point, since he's so done with everyone's shit, he would just choke everyone and just throw them out of the way rather than actually like giving the time to use a lightsaber. I still really like the actual action though, and it's probably the only really good action scene in the movie.
Really? You're going to do that with Chirrut Inway in the mix with Donnie Yen?
The only other character I like
a
Donnie
blind
Yen.
Donnie Yen facing off like 10 stormtroopers with a stick, and he still wins.
Yeah.
So
I like
you're not
Donnie
gonna
Yen,
acknowledge
right?
that?
But I don't
Uh-huh.
really care for the character. The only character I like within that is like the robot guy and the
K2SO.
guy who talks to Jin Erso. Is that her name?
Jyn Erso, yeah.
Yeah, Erso. Yeah, who's the guy? Oh my, what's the actor's name? But he's in the prequel stuff too.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
What's his name? I wish I knew it, but I love that actor too, and I also love the character. So it's him and like the robot guy. The robot guy is like my favorite character in this. And
K2SO is a robot, and right now, Juan, what were your thoughts on the scene?
What scene you guys were talking about?
Darth Vader scene.
It's just I don't know. It looks amazing to me. In my opinion, it's pretty amazing. Like, it shows you how insignificant the rebel soldiers' effort to stop him was fruitless. How fruitless it was. Like, no matter what they did, he still got past them.
Yeah, see, like that's why. And to go back to what you're saying, his name was Saw Gerrera and played by Forrest Whitaker.
yeah, I love Forrest Whitaker and I love Saw Gerrera. And to go back to the Darth Vader fight again, because I'll say what my actual favorite Darth Vader scene in this is. But to go back to the Vader fight too, is that one of my favorite scenes in Episode 6, right? Is where Palpatine says, "I don't even need a lightsaber. I have lightning." So it's kind of like there's this level of mastery where eventually you don't even need a lightsaber. And obviously Darth Vader's not there, but that's how I see it. It's like it goes using force powers, using like using your lightsaber, and then just using lightning is like kind of totem pole. And since they're so insignificant, it's like a lightsaber, you do want to use it only on like a really challenging people.
Well, I mean, look,
But my
here's the thing
favorite
about
Darth Vader scene is...
Fine.
I'll get back to you on that. But my favorite Darth Vader scene is actually where he chokes the general and is like, "Don't choke on your aspirations."
Oh man, that's a good line, yeah. But to go back on the whole Force lightning thing, the thing with Force lightning is Darth Vader is the most powerful Force user right now. Even Sidious admitted that in Episode 3. But the thing is that ever since he got his limbs cut off, he's not able to use Force lightning, like, at all. I don't know where... I remember reading The Rise and Fall of Darth Vader, and it stated in there, and I'm pretty sure it's still canon, that you actually need physical limbs in order to use it. Because if you use robotic limbs, you're just going to shock yourself. That's why.
Yeah, extended canon is hard to talk about, though, because then you get into the stuff where it's like... You get into, like, the Palpatine hospital and all this stuff with Vader, and, like... How have you ever read that? It's like how incompetent, like, the actual hospital is? And there's just a lot of that. That's why people don't really talk about the extended universe as much.
But even so, like to go back on what you're saying about the whole lightsaber fight and all that stuff, the reason that they did so many action stuff in the prequels is to show that these people are in their prime at this point. Like they've been training all their lives and they've seen countless action, and that's why they're basically at peak physical performance, as opposed to the original trilogy where, oh yeah, Darth Vader hasn't seen a new Jedi in years, and Obi-Wan's the first one. He knows how Obi-Wan works, and vice versa. So that's why it's all methodical and everything. That's why there's so many strings. They're technically testing the waters, see who's actually gonna make the first real blow, and that's why again in the sequel trilogy, which I really don't want to talk about either way, that the same thing goes. Like there's not really that much because even though they're in physical prime, they haven't had that much practice against people with lightsabers. But here you have Darth Vader against a whole bunch of rebel soldiers. You basically have Darth Vader's essence, but Anakin's arrogance coming in and say, "Oh yes, I've been waiting for a fight so long." Because the reason he's actually on there, and that you didn't want to stay, is that he wanted to be there himself to get the plans from the Death Star, because this said in a line of dialogue, say, we've intercepted a transmission to that rebel ship, and then he says, "Purport a boarding vessel," because he wants to go on there himself to get the transmission. So that's why.
Yeah, like this will just be personal preference because I don't want to argue. We already talked about this scene enough, but the only thing I'll say is that while that is true, I didn't bring it up. It's more so that I don't really care for that explanation. It's a fine explanation, but with how Darth Vader is in the fourth film, because this is only like a little bit before that, is that he, as a general, right, wouldn't really be doing that kind of grunt work, and he wouldn't want to do that kind of grunt work. And I get that with the prequels, it's like that, but since it's so close to the fourth movie, it's kind of like both of how the prequel trilogy is and how the original trilogy is like clashing, like the Vader's character kind of. And I mean, I kind of want to talk about a few more scenes though, since we've been talking about Vader for a bit.
Yeah, I know, but just for the last bit of what I want to say is like, when you say grunt work, that's not really what he's doing. Like, it's stated throughout the sequel trilogy and in this movie that he would do whatever the Emperor says. That's why he followed Tarkin orders in episode 4, because the Emperor told him you must follow Tarkin's orders, and that's why he listens to Tarkin, which is i.e. why he's going out, why he was there in the first place, because Emperor Palpatine sent him to, I think it was Scarif. Yeah, that's the planet that the Death Star plans are on, and he said, and he was tasked to eliminate any rebel fleet, so that's why he's there. But anyways, other than that, yeah, let's just move on. Juan, what was your favorite scene besides the Darth Vader scene, or favorite part of the movie besides that?
Probably the fight at that little planet. I'm not sure the name of the planet's called.
No, that's not it. Shit, I remember the place. I was gonna say Jakku, but no, that's not it.
Is it where he meets Is it where they first meet the robot and they're saving the little girl?
No, he's
the
talking
big
about
battle at the end.
He's talking about where Donnie Yen comes in.
Is it where they're
Wait, no.
Is it like where they blow up the planet, or is it right before that?
Like the battle in the planet, on the planet.
You're talking
about
the combination of the space battle and the land battle. That one.
Yeah,
that's Scarif. That's Scarif.
Yeah, Scarif.
That's Scarif.
Yeah.
But I don't really know the name. I kind of like that scene. Kind of shows like the horrors of war and stuff. Kind of shows how gritty the battle can get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
as well as I like the whole thing of their final stand before their death. They were the ones who gave hope to the rebellion, in a way.
Yeah, I can see that because like it was stated before, like on a review about it, like it stated like this is the first actual Star Wars movie to depict actual war, and everyone was like, "Wait, what are you talking about? The whole title is Star Wars," but no, what the reviewer was saying, like to depict what the war actually does to people, in a sense of what a battle actually looks like, aside from the TV shows and the comic books that aren't canon anymore. This is an actual battle on the big screen.
Yeah, I do kind of wish that the original cut was still there and they didn't do the reshoots, because like they did apparently lighten the mood up a lot more.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
And so that's one of my problems with the films too, which I still think is okay, is that like you can tell the tonal shift where like it's the original director's intentions and like the new director they got, and that there's that like Disney didn't really know what they wanted to do somewhat with that.
Yeah, because you got to remember that this was their first anthology film, so they wanted to push the boundaries a bit, but they didn't want to be too experimental. They wanted to find that right spot. They kind of hit it, but they also kind of missed it at the same time.
Yeah, my favorite thing though is I remember seeing the reviews when this first came out, and all the parents were like, "Oh my gosh, it's so dark for my kids! Like, there's all these murder and stuff." Because The film does actually get a little brutal at times.
Yeah, it does. Like the desert planet, that thing was kind of brutal in itself. Like, come on, man.
Like you know the type thing I was talking about, like with the little girl that I was like they were trying to save her or whatever.
Yeah.
Like she just blows up and like dies. I think the director or one of the guys said like, yeah, no, she just died. It's like, oh
Yeah,
man, well that was
that's
a
what I was
waste.
talking about. The place where they got the kyber crystals. That place, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that was a waste in a way. Whereas like I mean, it's still a valiant effort, but like in the end, the results just like she still died.
I kind of also liked how people made up the theories that Jin Erso and Cassian were going to be Rey's parents. For like, nope, that got shut down quick.
Yeah, I mean, it may be better than what actually came to be, but
I mean, yeah, but we won't really know what the original plan was. Actually, according to Colin Trevorrow, Rey was supposed to remain unknown in terms of lineage. That's why.
Yeah, until they changed because of the mixed opinions of. I don't want to get into the whole thing, especially you said the Kathleen thing, but Last Jedi is even worse with that. So, like the mixed opinion of Last Jedi made, so they changed course.
Yeah, I'll give it to that. I enjoy the Last Jedi for completely different reasons. We'll probably get to that if we ever do a video on the Last Jedi. Probably not likely, considering how you guys feel about it. But yeah, I might do a solo one if anything like that. But yeah, this one I feel like they did push the boundaries a bit on what I wanted to go to in terms of darker tone, but they ended up pulling back even more so because. Like a little tiny thing was like they were supposed to hint at Jyn Erso turning into the dark side for something. Because I remember one of the previews said at the end of it showed a picture of her in Imperial armor, and Saw Gerrera saying, "What will you turn into?" at the end of this fight. And I'm like, damn, are they actually gonna make a good guy turn bad? So, but nope, they didn't. They just killed her off.
If we're talking about dark Star Wars, though, I'll say like Clone Wars plus Episode 3. Well, both Clone Wars, I'll say, plus Episode 3, like. With the whole Anakin thing is they could have actually made the third movie better, but like the scene with the younglings where he just gets his like, which is funny because he gets his lightsaber out, where he just murders all the younglings is like, no, that's still the darkest scene they've done.
That's just dark. That's just really dark. Like, damn. I'm like, god damn. I know it's a meme at this point, but still, god damn.
But I will say they did do the war scenes better than anything that in Episode 2 or 1.
Yeah, that's right. They did do a lot better because I mean, Episode 1, the war wasn't really happening. It was more just of a dispute between two planets and a confederation. Episode 2 was the start of the war, but that was only at the end of the movie. Well, Episode 3 was the aftermath of the war, so that's where all the bloody battles usually are.
Well, all the bloody battles are in Clone Wars.
Yeah, but I mean, like that whole aftermath conclusion, that's the main bloody battle, and we get to see some of that in Clone Wars actually, with the whole Ahsoka feeling Anakin's turn to the dark side and everything.
Yeah, and the other Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, the animated one. Well, I didn't really see that one. You did though.
Where he just like, oh, you haven't seen? Oh man, that's the one.
No, I've seen clips here and there, but I haven't really like seen the movie.
Yeah, it's because Grievous, man, like talking about the Darth Vader thing, which I do like. But man, what Grievous does in that is just, oof, that's like what the Predator does in Predator.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that. I don't know. Hold on, what's one thing you would change about this movie? Like, given the opportunity, what would be one thing you would change?
Probably, I don't know. I mean, for me, it seems like a pretty good, solid movie, Yeah. Because, like, I kind of like the whole concept of them not having, to rely solely on the Jedi to save them. Like, like in the original series and the new ones.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, though, because, like, True Inway, Donnie Yen's character, he's actually Force sensitive, but he just isn't a full Jedi. That's the thing. So they did technically get away with having a Jedi in there, but not really having a Jedi in there.
Yeah, isn't Mandalorian Season 1 the only one where there's, like, actually no Jedi at all?
Not unless you count Baby Yoda, who's Force sensitive. But yeah, there's literally no Jedi in that.
I guess I know he is 0, but I guess you can count him, like...
Yeah.
Even though he only does, like... Doesn't he only do, like, 1 or 2 things with his, like, powers, though, in that?
I mean, he does levitation, force healing, and pushing.
Alright,
that's amazing. Yeah. Alright, Julian, what's one thing you would change? One thing, man. You gotta remember, one thing.
Alright, well, I already said one of them, so I'll restate that, but I'll say the other one to say the one thing. So the first one is have the original script back.
Uh-huh.
And then the second one to make another one thing is to, I guess... I think they were supposed to make the script longer, so to have more character moments to make you, like, care more for all the characters outside of just, like, them being together. Like, have more interactions with them. And show more personality than just trying to retrieve the Death Star.
Hmm. Yeah, that's probably one thing I would change too, and work more on the character development and less like on comedic takes and Easter eggs type thing. Because like, did we really need to see the two people from the cantina that Obi-Wan cut his arm off from, and did we really need to see C-3PO and R2-D2 just silhouetted, and do we really need to know that that Senator Organa knew Kenobi and was about to contact him, even though they didn't really mention that at all?
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole bunch of throwaway lines here that could have really been used for development for these characters and more to get an attachment to these characters. Like, I mean, I feel for these characters like when they die and everything, but they literally could have hit harder if they spent a little bit more time as to developing these characters more than relying on K2SO for quips and more Easter eggs and everything like that. So yeah, overall, would you recommend this movie, Juan?
Yeah, I would. Because,
What
like,
about you?
I'm kind of a casual viewer of Star Wars.
Mhm.
And this movie was pretty easy to follow without needing much, little to no background information on the franchise. So it's a really good movie too, as well as and kind of they broke the mold with this one,
Mm.
where it takes part of in the Star Wars universe, but it's easy enough for anyone who isn't a fan of the trilogy to watch it and
I
to
can see
enjoy it
that.
as well.
Yeah, I can see that. That's really
I can
understandable.
see that.
How about you, Julian? Would you recommend this movie?
I'll say this: it's if you've watched all the stuff from the first 6 films, so the original intention of George Lucas's vision, right?
Uh-huh.
Including like some of the extended universe stuff, like the original sequel trilogy before Disney got a hold of it, and like you also watched both Clone Wars. Out of all the Disney stuff, this is really the only one you need to watch, like that you could watch. Like, oh, what's the first one I should watch of the Disney acquisition? This one, actually, my bad, Mandalorian now, then this one. And that's about it. I mean, you can watch the sequels trilogy if you want, but like it is a bit more wonky than these two things. Where like Mandalorian and Rogue One are solid enough for an average viewer.
Mm. I don't know. That's really understandable too. I get where you're coming from with that.
But definitely
Honestly,
watch the first 6 films first. George Lucas's intention, because that is like that. Even though some people, people don't care for the prequels and other people love it, that one's mixed too. It still is very cohesive story wise. The first 6 films.
Yeah. For me, I'd probably say watch it. Watch it. If you want to watch it as a solo film, it pretty much stands well on its own. You don't really need to have that much background knowledge on Star Wars if you just want to watch it casually. But if you're a diehard Star Wars fan and you really, really want to watch every single bit of Star Wars media, then watch it. And also if you're like intermediate, like how I am, like I'm a fan of the franchise and everything, but I'm not that much of a diehard fan that I would literally go out of my way to see the next Star Wars movie right then and there. But yeah, I'd watch it. I'm pretty sure I'd watch it as you would say, Julian, but then if I want to go back to it, like the whole series again, I'd probably watch 1, 2, 3, then this one, then 4, 5, 6. And then Solo, literally I'll just watch it after or anything, if I want to go to sleep or something like that. So yeah. Alright, there's our thoughts on Rogue One. Let us know what you guys think of it. If you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, you guys know what to do. Comment, subscribe, all the other good junk. Let us know if you want Juan to come back, and you'll be surprised if he does. And if not, then he didn't work out. Alright, see you guys.
Bye.
See ya.